By the end of this video, you'll learn 10 powerful pickleball tips that can seriously level up your game, even if you're just starting out or coming from a younger generation of players. These aren't just general pointers. These are battle-tested insights from thousands of hours on court. So if you're serious about improving your consistency, your tactics, and your confidence, grab your paddle and let's dive right in. Let's start with a simple tweak that will immediately help you win more points. Hit your third shot drop toward the middle of the court, not the sidelines, just nice and centered. Why? Because when you drop the ball wide, you're giving your opponents more angles to hit sharp cross-court shots or powerful line drives. That opens the door for them to dictate the point. But when your drop lands in the middle, they have fewer options and the rally stays more neutral. It's a subtle shift, but it really shrinks their offensive window, and that can buy you a lot of time. Let's talk about a shot that doesn't get enough attention, the fourth shot. This is the return you hit right after your opponent drops their third shot. Here's a simple mental checklist. Can you hit the ball out of the air? That's your first priority. When you take the ball out of the air, you're putting pressure on your opponent and keeping them from getting comfortable. But if the ball dips too low and you can't volley it, then you'll want to step back slightly, get sideways, and treat it like a controlled tennis swing to keep them back. Don't just give up court space. Make them work for every inch. One of the most frustrating mistakes at the kitchen line is getting jammed up in the body, what many call the chicken wing. But it's super easy to fix with this one habit. Always point your paddle tip directly at where you just hit the ball. Let's say you hit the ball cross court. Your paddle should be ready in that same direction, not hanging out by your hip or leaning backhand. When your paddle is neutral and out in front, you're much better prepared for those surprise speed-ups. It keeps your arms compact and your reactions sharp. And when that attack comes, you'll be ready. A lot of players set their paddle in one spot and forget about it. But where you hold your paddle should change depending on where you are on the court. If you're at the kitchen line, keep your paddle high and in front. That's where the attacks come fast, and you'll need to be ready. As you move back toward the baseline, lower that paddle. In the midcourt or transition zone, your paddle should be low and forward. Why? Because balls tend to come lower at that range. And if you start with your paddle too high, you'll often swing late or pop it up. Being intentional with your ready position will save you a ton of errors. Here's a fun one. If you get a dead dink, one that barely bounces or just floats, you've got a great chance to be deceptive. Instead of casually dinking it back, try this. Make a big, exaggerated backswing, then either hit a soft dink or go for something aggressive. That exaggerated windup keeps your opponent guessing. They don't know whether you're about to reset it gently or blast one past them. And that moment of hesitation on their end, that's your opening. Deception doesn't always have to be fancy. It just has to mess with timing. And topspin is a game changer when you get it right. But a lot of players overcomplicate it. They try to generate spin with their whole arm or by snapping their wrist forcefully. That's not the move. Think about waving to someone, but sideways. That smooth, subtle motion from the wrist is what creates clean topspin. You don't need a violent follow-through, just a controlled brush upward using your wrist as the hinge. That motion gives the ball dip, lets it clear the net safely, and keeps your opponent on their heels. When it comes to driving the ball, the goal is not to swing as hard as you can. In fact, your drive should only be about 70% power. You're not trying to blast through your opponent, you're trying to get the ball to dip just over the net. That low, fast arc makes it hard for them to counterattack with any pace. If you go too hard and flat, your drive might go out, or worse, come back at you even faster. Focus on a strong brush with a bit of topspin to keep the ball controlled and low. The best drives are dangerous without being reckless. Timing. Your split step is crucial, especially when you're approaching the kitchen line after a third shot. Most players do it too late. They wait until their opponent is hitting the ball, but by then, it's already too late. Instead, your split step should happen just as your ball crosses the net. That little hop prepares your body to react quickly and adjust. If you're still moving or shifting when they make contact, you'll be off balance. But if you're set, when they hit, you'll feel like you've bought yourself an extra second. And that can be the difference between a solid counter and a whiff. Let's say your partner hits a weak return. You know the drive is coming, and it's going to be tough for them to handle from the midcourt. What do? Step over. Just temporarily slide over, take that next ball yourself, then drift back into your original position. Think of it like a quick moment of singles coverage to protect your team. That one little move can prevent a pop-up or a rushed swing, and it also sends a message. I've got your back. Teamwork like that builds rhythm, trust, and keeps your side in control. Here's a wild stat that'll change how you view every point. At the 4.0 level, around 70% of rallies end within the first 5 shots. That means serve, return, third shot, fourth shot, and maybe a fifth, and it's over. So if you're trying to be flashy early in the rally, you're probably making things harder for yourself. Instead, your focus should be survival during those opening shots. Play smart, be consistent. Let your opponent be the one who goes for the risky winner or the fancy angle. Once you're past the 5th shot, then it's your turn to apply pressure or look for opportunities to attack. But early on, just stay solid and let them make the mistake. If you're still here and soaking up these tips, congrats. You're already ahead of most players who never stop to learn the strategy behind the game. Pickleball is about more than fast hands and power shots. It's about smart decisions, timing, teamwork, and knowing when to play safe versus when to turn up the heat. Next time you're on the court, try just 1 or 2 of these tips and watch how your game starts to change. Whether it's being more consistent on the 3rd shot, reacting better with your paddle out front, or just remembering to split step a half second earlier, these little things stack up, and that's how you become the player everyone wants on their team.